subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. This has been a very huge question, and by the way, I thought that their next target, all really short, is gonna be in for Victor Gyokeres. And guess what? It's not Victor Gyokeres. Guys, it's not Victor Gyokeres. It's none other than Dan Bentley. That is it. Arsenal have decided to obviously first go ahead and obviously strengthen their backline and see to it that they obviously find themselves really a proper backup in other positions. Welcome to this channel, and I go by the names of Rokani. David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're totally watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. We are also going to talk about the man himself known as Emerson Royal, right? Then we are going to be talking about there is a story concerning let me see here, let me get it right, guys. There is a story of Amario Cozier-Duberry, formerly at Arsenal. He has gone ahead to find a team. Remember, he left Arsenal on a free, and now he has found himself. He is going to be playing next. And then lastly, we are going to be having a story coming in from Fabrizio Romano as Pepe comes in to obviously speak about his next plan after being knocked out of the Euros. So let's see close to 300 likes watching this video, and this is the channel known as the Rokani Media Football. Good morning. I thought I've gone ahead to really a little bit delay, but better late than never. I've gone ahead obviously coming through. And by the way, by the time I scheduled this live, I thought that maybe I would be really one of those who is not gonna really come in and obviously get most of you here, but I said I have to come in through and really put in a very huge shift. And as I told you that what was really holding back this summer transfer window to obviously go into what we call full blast has always been the Euros. Now you see to it that when teams are really left only 4 in the Euros, we're now seeing huge movement at every side. Manchester United is closing in on Zexi and Matthias de Ligt. You know, you look at Chelsea, they're really signing in players. Bayern Munich, you know, look at the team called Arsenal, you know, Ricardo Calafiori into the mix, and it's like just some steps away from obviously making it here we go. And now Arsenal have gonna hit obviously coming through and really say Dan Bentley is the guy. Dan Bentley is the lad that we are going in for, and I'm gonna be letting you know who is Danny Bentley and where is he playing at. So we thank God for the gift of life. The Muslims, Barakallahu fikum, and may the living to God bless you abundantly. Right? So it has been David Austin who has come out and obviously gonna hit obviously put out this story, and he said the following, that Arsenal contact Wolverhampton Wanderers to express interest into signing Danny Bentley, 30-year-old goalkeeper identified by Arsenal as backup option, homegrown plus great character. Wolverhampton Wanderers would only see if suitable bids if suitable bids land so they can reinvest in the club. And that is a story coming in through from the man known as David Austin. Yesterday night he came in thought obviously went ahead to break it, and it shows you that Arsenal are looking at the replacement of Aaron Ramsdale. That is it. Aaron Ramsdale was really thrown off the cliff by David Raya, the Spanish international, who is still at the Euros in there for you. And Arsenal last week went ahead obviously announced his contract, his loan from Brentford to Arsenal being made permanent, meaning that that is the final kick in the teeth of Aaron Ramsdale, and Aaron Ramsdale has to leave the club of Arsenal. And Arsenal hasn't gone ahead to make a pure decision on what they're going to be doing for Aaron Ramsdale. That is it. But we are waiting to see how things are really going to be panning out into the mix for the guy called Aaron Ramsdale. But the fact is he's leaving the club of Arsenal, and the big question is, where is he going to be playing at? Now, let's go to the man known as Dan Bentley. Dan Bentley is a 30-year-old goalkeeper, and he is an English born and bred. That is it. And he was born on the 13th July 1993 in an English professional footballer. And he's an English professional footballer, right? He has played in the English Premier League, Southend. He has also played for Brentford and Bristol City. Now, Arsenal are like, they want to bring back their old boy, because when you look at his academic career, he was really once at Arsenal, and this says they are that he was really at Arsenal. He was at Arsenal from 2001 to 2008, and that's where he commenced his youth career as a goalkeeper, right? And in 2008 to 2009, he went ahead to play for Southend United. Then he went ahead to obviously kickstart off his senior career, and in 2009 to 2016, those were 7 years. He really made 141 appearances for the side of Southend. Then he was loaned to Braintree Town. He spent there. He was loaned there. Then 2016, 2019, he joined Brentford, right? Then he played 123 games for Brentford before David Raya came in and obviously took over, right? Then 2019, 2023, he was at Bristol City and he played 137 games. 2023 till now, he's playing for the side of Wolverhampton Wanderers. That is the guy himself called Dan Bentley, and he's really a goalkeeper that can easily express himself with the foot, and Arsenal are really hugely interested in signing the player. And last season for Wolverhampton Wanderers, he really came in through and obviously played 5 games in the Premier League, and in the EFL Cup he played 2 games. That is Dan Bentley. Now, when you look at all those stats that I'm gonna hit obviously throw into your eyes or into your face, it's a given that the guy is really coming to Arsenal with huge Premier League experience, and he's a homegrown player. I've already told you something about the homegrown players, that Arsenal might lose very many homegrown players, and you see to it that they want to replace him with a homegrown player, because Aaron Ramsdale, who is going to be leaving the club of Arsenal, is a homegrown player. That is it. Aaron Ramsdale is a homegrown player. And in the due course of being a homegrown player, Aaron Ramsdale has come out and obviously says, I want to leave. And that means you are losing out on the number of homegrown players that you should be having into your squad. By the way, I think you should be having 8, if at all I'm not mistaken, 8 homegrown players. And when you look at the list of players that are going to leave Arsenal, 4 of those are really homegrown players. Ramsdale, Reece Nelson, Eddie Nketiah, Emily Smith-Rowe. Those are 4 homegrown players, and you cannot really allow to lose all those 4 homegrown players without really replacing them. And what they have to do right now is simple. They have to obviously start getting in what we call homegrown players to come in through and do the needful and really take this to the next level. So as it stands, it really looks like Arsenal is really working to bring on this homegrown player, and I think we are going to get more details about it, and I think there is no way Wolverhampton Wanderers is going to stand in the way of this guy, because they can get in money and obviously do the needful to see if this really comes to pass. But the fact is he's going to come in through at Arsenal, and I think he has now a huge chance of playing very many games than he played at Wolverhampton Wanderers. For example, when you look at the games he played last season, 5 in the Premier League and 2 into the EFL Cup. When he's coming through at Arsenal, I think with the players that Arsenal are really pointing at and wanting to sign, Arsenal is really going to play more games in the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup than they've gone ahead to do ever since Mikel Arteta came in through. For the previous 2 seasons, we're going to hit the Arsenal. We're going to obviously exceed what we call the first or second round of the FA Cup and EFL Cup, respectively. So, if this guy is coming in through at Arsenal, they're going to tell him that, please, we are building a strong team. We want to fuel the strong team when you're playing the Carabao Cup and when we are playing into the EFL Cup. That is going to be the point that Arsenal is going to be selling this guy at all too. That is Arsenal. And I think he's really positive to obviously go in and really play for Arsenal, because he's going to be doing the same job he has been doing at Wolverhampton Wanderers at Arsenal. Because even at Wolverhampton Wanderers, he has not gone ahead to be the first choice goalkeeper. He has been an understudy, but Arsenal have gone ahead to scout him very well, and they've gone ahead to come up with the reason that this guy should obviously come in through and get into the mix to become one of those players that should come in through at Arsenal. I like it about Arsenal. I told you when they start to obviously point at players to go on and obviously say that we want that player, Arsenal will start this at full pelt. You get? And when you look at how the preseason is going to be starting, Arsenal is not going to be having David Raya, because David Raya is at the Euros, and if Spain play in the finale, that means he'll leave on the 14th, right? 14th, give him close to 2-3 weeks of holiday. Obviously, will be available when Arsenal is playing against Wolverhampton Wanderers in the opening game of the Premier League. But that means all the preseason games that Arsenal really going to be playing, it's going to be Dan Bentley in between the stitches. And looks like Arsenal don't want to obviously gate the guy called Aaron Ramsdale anywhere near them. Now, on the 25th of July, Arsenal is going to be playing Bournemouth, meaning that today is when? Today is 7th. That game is going to... Today is 8th. That game is going to be played 17 days from now. And I tell you, in 17 days from now, that deal will be done. And I believe after Calafiori deal is done and dusted, they're obviously going to go in for this goalkeeper, right? And that will be done business. Meaning that Arsenal will have him in between the stitches when they're playing against Bournemouth. That is on the 25th of July. 28th of July, Arsenal playing Manchester United in the US. That is going to be also very important into the mix as we obviously look through what plan they will be having. And I think it will be Dan Bentley in between the stitches. Then Liverpool versus Arsenal on the 1st of August. We don't know whether David Raya will be back, but I think this guy will be in between the stitches. And I think the game that I expect David Raya to obviously come in through to obviously play and really get back into his stitches, it's going to be the game of Arsenal versus Leverkusen at the Emirates. And even the Emirates Cup final, Arsenal versus Lyon, 11th August at Emirates. So those two last games, I see to it that it's going to be a David Raya in between the stitches. But Arsenal versus Bournemouth, Arsenal versus Manchester United, Liverpool versus Arsenal, I see a player known as Dan Bentley really going ahead to be in between the stitches to obviously bring in the required shift possible into the mix. So that is it that we are getting in through from the club of Arsenal. They've obviously gone ahead to show huge interest into signing this player. But remember, the list had very many goalkeepers. There is the goalkeeper of, I think, Genoa, that even Real Madrid is really interested in. Then there was also another guy called Bijlo, who plays for what's the team? It's known as, that team is called what? Feyenoord, the Dutch international goalkeeper, has gone ahead to be linked to the side of Arsenal. And it looks like Arsenal have gone ahead to make a decision, and they don't want to come out and obviously make huge expenditure onto a goalkeeper that they believe is really gonna be a second choice. And they looked for the best option, and that means Dan Bentley is really one of those that is going to obviously come in through and really be chosen to obviously come in through and be the next signing after Ricardo Calafiori. To me, I thought it was going to be Gyokeres, but Arsenal is like, Gyokeres is not the man for now. We are really trying to obviously fix up things, because they might know they can get in a striker, but they need to first really look at those players that are really homegrown that they can get into the team of Arsenal. And for the homegrown part, there is the other youngster of Arsenal that was supposed to go to Bayern Munich, and Arsenal have gone ahead to offer him a new contract, and he has gone ahead to buy it, and he's like, all right, let's give it a go. So that is it for Dan Bentley, and let's wait and see how things really pan out. But smash the like button close to 300 times in there for you. Now, Richard Fenny says, hey, good morning, my brother. Thank you. Tony Badambia, I'm waiting for you already. Here I've come. Turia Junwa Frank, I'm really glad to have you as my mentor in football news shows. All right, thank you very much. I'm really humbled for what you've gone ahead to say. Henry Moses, good morning. Already, good morning, Henry. Obo, good morning, my brother. Good morning. Then Badru Lutalo, hey, already here from Germany. Oh, you are watching from Germany. All right, Henry Moses, by the way, you look fresh. Oh, really? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you for appreciating. Then Black Dan, hello. David Sozi, thanks, bro, for your updates and time. And you're watching you from Dubai. We love you, my brother. Thank you for watching in. Then Mozora Eli, is Arsenal going for Williams and number 6? For Neto Williams, I think to see some huge advancement and to know where this guy is going to be playing at, let's see what is going to be happening tomorrow, when Spain is going to be playing the side of when Spain is going to be playing the side of France, right? That is on the 9th. That's when the game of football is really going to be played. And I think if at all they are knocked out, then we are going to start to see huge movement in wanting to let this guy go. And teams are obviously coming through on attack, but they don't want to obviously distract his season. By the way, he's one of the best performing players at the Euros, and you cannot just come out and really say, I want him out, I want to sign him. So I think even the player is going to have to put everything to the pause. And in the due course of doing so, he's like, don't rush me into a decision. Allow me, rest my case. Let me get done with the Euros. And when I'm done with the Euros, the rest will be history. That is it. Coming in through from the man himself, known as Nico Williams. You've talked about, who else have you asked about? Williams and who? Williams and the number 6. We wait. Arsenal signing number 6 will depend on whether Thomas Partey leaves or stays. And you're going to hit to see there is really slow movement of Thomas Partey. And we don't know exactly what is going to happen into the mix. Then Henry also talk about Yasil Aspura, who plays on the right side as a winger. I think I don't want to talk about someone whom I'm not going to obviously do a lot of history about or research. I just want to obviously go ahead and really research about that player. Then I come in and really give you my hint about him. But I've never heard of him being part of the list of Arsenal. But if at all there is a story that is linking him to the side of Arsenal, I'll come up here and obviously do the needful to your side. Then Yobi, hey Rokani, what about Bruno Guimaraes? Bruno Guimaraes is playing in the Copa America, and we anticipate that talks will really intensify very soon when he really shows up to the fullest at the team of Newcastle, and after the and after Copa America is done. When Copa America is done, then we'll obviously see the needful. Then Kahendo Oliver, Mr. Aradi, morning. I agree with Arteta because Bentley can come from the bench instead of signing young one when cannot be happy. Yeah, you are right that they've looked at the experience of the goalkeeper known as Dan Bentley to say to it that maybe if at all David Raya gets an injury, or he's really suspended, or gets a red card and is really out, or injured, they're like, no guys, we're not going to be doing that. We are going to be really getting in a goalkeeper from the bench to come in through and really hold us and lift us and take us to the next level. I think that is really a very good observation coming in from Kahendo Oliver, that they've not gone in for a young goalkeeper, they've gone in for experience and to see that he can obviously push Raya, because you must be having a second goalkeeper who is not so hungry to obviously dislodge this goalkeeper and will be happy with the limited minutes going to be getting throughout the season, but also good enough to push the goalkeeper. That is it. Then we are having Ojok Paul. But Rokani, what did Aaron Ramsdale do to Arteta? Aaron Ramsdale was a good shot stopper, but his ball distribution and the way he expressed himself with the ball in his feet was not all what Arteta wanted at the club of Arsenal. All what he wanted was a goalkeeper who could obviously come in through and really put in a very huge and better shift when it comes to really ball distribution. So that's why Mikel Arteta came in through and said, no, I'm not really going to be using you. That's why he brought in David Raya. Robin Omawath, good morning, RD. How about our midfield issues? I've told you that a decision is set to be made after Thomas Partey decision is made. If Thomas Partey stays, Arsenal won't bring in any midfielder. If Thomas Partey is to leave, then Arsenal will attack the market to bring in a midfielder. Then Joseph, hello Rokani for the show. Subi in Kampala, love you. All right, thank you Subi for watching it through from Kampala. Then Joseph Paul, RD, thanks for the show. You're asking me about Gyokeres. Gyokeres is a deal that I really expected obviously come after Arsenal getting the deal of Calafiori done. But I tell you what, it's vice versa. It's not the case. It's all about the new goalkeeper. It's all about the goalkeeper, Dan Bentley. And that's what Arsenal have gone ahead to choose to do. And I cannot explain to you why they haven't gone ahead to go in for Gyokeres. But if they are to go in for any player, then we'll wait and see. And I'll be here to let you know. But the deal of Gyokeres is currently silent. It's currently silent. And when it obviously gains momentum, I'll be the first person to come in here and tell you that the deal is really gaining momentum. Then we are having Tumusime Dennis. Good morning, Aradi. Good morning, Tumusime. Now, let's obviously walk a little bit to the side of North London, to the nemesis of Arsenal. And Fabrizio Romano has come out and told us the following, that AC Milan are prepared to send new bid to Spurs for Emerson Royal as they hope to get the deal done next week. Proposal will be in excess of 15 million euros. Talks between clubs do continue. Emerson wants Milan move, as revealed in May. He's already agreed on a 5-year contract. So there is a negotiation between Tottenham Hotspur and AC Milan, but there is no negotiations between between AC Milan and this guy known as Emerson Royal. Why? Emerson Royal has already gone ahead to agree personal terms with the side of AC Milan, and there is a story I really went ahead to bring you, I think like 2, 3, 4 weeks back, when he was on holiday, and they went ahead to obviously interview him. And when he was interviewed, everyone was like, where are you going to be playing next season? He said, I'm going to be playing in Italy. And they say, we have links of you and AC Milan. He said, yeah, but the club has to give me green light. But for me, I'm really ready to obviously go ahead and really play for the side of AC Milan. And that leaves them with Pedro Porro alone as a right back. And they might obviously look out to bring another player, because even the other guy who plays for Genoa, I've forgotten his, Jordan Spence, is really gonna see his move made permanent. But I think all that is delayed because of Spurs weighing in on who is going to be the replacement for the guy known as Emerson Royal. But if at all Jordan Spence, I cannot allow to obviously coming through and return to the side of Tottenham Hotspur, because they cannot get me exactly what I want. That is it. Tottenham Hotspur cannot get me exactly what I want. That is it. At the age of Jordan Spence, I think it's 23, 24 years, all he needs is playing time. He needs to be playing football, game in, game out, and that's what he's really calling in for. And I think that's what they should be giving him. So, Emerson Royal to AC Milan, I think it will be a here we go anytime from now, provided provided AC Milan meets the realistic evaluation of the guy called Spurs. That is it. So let's obviously get a little bit to Arsenal. There is a story that we're going to have to get in from the guy called Fabrizio Romano. Understand Amario Cozier-Duberry has decided to sign for Brighton after leaving Arsenal. Here we go. Brighton beat several Premier League clubs and European clubs to the free signing as they offered clear pathway. Deal done. Cozier-Duberry will also be integrated in the first squad next season. This is what this young man was all about. He was really crying at Arsenal that I need to get into the first team. But when you look at how crowded the first team of Arsenal was and how limited, Mikel Arteta is going to obviously get these players what we call them, give them the minutes they really deserve. I think Cozier-Duberry was like, I'm not going to sign up for Arsenal because I see no clear pathway into the first team. And it's one of the things I've reiterated on several occasions about Mikel Arteta and what is going to obviously coming through to do the needful. But as I tell you, Cozier-Duberry is one of those players that is really talented, and Arsenal are really going to miss out on a player. He's that good that you can not really miss out on a talent like that. And that's why Arsenal, we are pleading to obviously keep the talent. of this guy, because they need to eat that there is something special that this guy is really holding. And I tell you, he's a special lad that Arsenal have gone ahead to miss out on. And Arsenal losing out on very many youngsters from the academy, you know. But I think there might be a commission they might be getting, because these are homegrown players. And I tell you what, if you're a homegrown player, you must contribute to where your team is really gonna be at, if at all you leave them like how this young man is gonna hate to leave them. I believe there will be some commission, right? All else, when Brighton sell the player, a team like Arsenal obviously have to come out and really get a commission. Like if you're gonna hate to see onto Hutchinson. Hutchinson went ahead to leave Arsenal on a free, but when he was sold for £22 million from Chelsea to the side of Ipswich Town, they went ahead to say to it that they get a commission of £4 million as a side that saw this guy get groomed in his young age. So even for Cozier-Duberry, when he's sold by the side of Brighton, I think Arsenal will get some money. And I believe that for Cozier-Duberry, he'll go for some more amount of money that will make Arsenal proud and see to it that everything really goes on as to pass as they make it happen. So that is it coming in through from the man himself, known as Fabrizio Romano. You know, it's a Fabrizio Romano and David Austin affair. Lastly, before I obviously sign out to come in, obviously have a little bit about your questions into the live chat. I have a story coming in from Fabrizio Romano about Pepe will decide his future in the next days as he's available as a free agent after excellent performance at the Euros. 41 years of age, old defender will make decision after leaving FC Porto for free this summer. Now, he's 41 years of age, and now I believe it's time he went ahead to obviously get in his monies and really look for a team in Saudi Arabia. If I'm Pepe, with my brilliant showcase in the Champions League for FC Porto, I think with his performances, he'll obviously come in through and really put in a very good shift as a guy. So he has gonna have to put in a very big shift, and I'm not really doubtful that a club in top 5 leagues of the Europe can really spare some time to obviously get this player in. I tell you, it can happen. It can happen. And the team can obviously sign him, and he can even be signed by the team in the Premier League, but he might be looking to play in the Champions League and obviously compete to do the needful. And when you look at that, which other team can come in to obviously show interest in him? I believe Xabi Alonso with Bayern Leverkusen, he might obviously want to sign in a player like that. Which other team that is playing the Champions League that I believe can need service of this guy? Teams that are going to play, teams apart from PSG, the other 2 teams that are going to be playing into the Champions League in France will obviously do the needful into the mix to see that all really goes on as planned. Then there is Girona. You know, Girona might obviously want to have some good experience, and they might obviously sign Pepe for 1 more year. Pepe wants to keep himself in the public eye or in the near eye of Roberto Martinez, because I believe he wants to play into the Euros. Sorry, in the World Cup of 2026. That is Pepe for you. So we wait and see where Pepe is really going to be at, and you can as well go into the comment section and tell me where you think Pepe is really going to be at. I'm having Henry Moses already. Yes, Asprilla was linked on yesterday, and the young boy has been on Brazil team, and Edu has contacted him. You can just check there on your gadgets now and make a promise on when you give details. All right, I'm gonna really be talking about the guy Yasser Asprilla. Let me obviously put the name of the lad into my search engine here and see how he is gonna obviously get linked to Arsenal, and who exactly went ahead to do that due diligence to obviously link him to Arsenal. That's what I'm obviously gonna be looking at. All right. He's a little bit exciting. Allow me get some more time into the deal of this guy. Then I'll come in through and do the needful and see how whether Arsenal will obviously win this or not. So thank you very much, Henry Moses, for that question. I'm really gonna, and I'm having your debt, you know. I owe you a video of Gyokeres versus Erling Haaland. I remember that very well. Don't think I'm gonna hit to forget it. Dennis Masungu, hello RD. Any information regarding KDB leaving City? It said he's leaving. It said he's leaving, and the Saudi sides are really willing to pay £100 million or 100 million euros for the player. And if you're Man City and there is a team that is willing to offer you 100 million euros for a player like him, why don't you obviously let him go? You get, I think that's the best option. You let him go and really get in that 100 million euros and get off 60 and get in Dani Olmo, because Man City have scouted Dan Olmo and they believe he's going to be the right replacement for the side of Kevin De Bruyne. Now, Wilson O, I love your show, bro. Thank you for loving the show. Onyango Simon, what about Francisco Conceição? Yeah, I've had some links of him to Arsenal from FC Porto, but he's really a very good guy. You saw him at the Euros. He's being played ahead of Pedro Neto, and maybe Arsenal might really use that as a yardstick to obviously come through and really make a decision on what the guy is going to be all about. Dennis Obuyin, Rokani, tell me how good is Yasser Asprilla of Wolves. I'm really going to come up and obviously do some research about it, and I'm going to record a video onto that. Ojok Paul Rokani, will Saliba go to Madrid? No. This summer it's really impossible because they don't have the money to spend. Have you gonna have to spend a lot of money onto Kylian Mbappe? I tell you, they don't have money to spend onto a player called William Saliba, because Arsenal will call in for like 100+ million pounds for the player. The amount that Madrid can't spend on any other player, right? After really getting in Kylian Mbappe into the mix. Now, I'm having Onzima Sunday. Good morning. Tell us about Gyokeres deal. Obviously, it's now silent, but not dead. It can be really given back to life anytime from now. Then Kahendo Oliver. Already, I think Arsenal is in the deal of Gyokeres and Osman. Rumors are that Arsenal is pushing to obviously get one of those, but when Here We Go is sounded, will come out and obviously tell you the truth about that. So guys, for everyone who has been part of this channel, I sign out for now. See you later. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ, and may the living to God bless you abundantly. Continue to subscribe and continue to obviously smash the like button. And for now, we out. See you later, my mates. Bye-bye.